Let's have a look at Python's while loops as a way of controlling how often you repeat things. So a while loop makes a repeated block that only repeats while a condition holds. We can think of this as a bit like this barbarian guarding the exit from the loop. So until you meet the conditions, you will not be allowed to pass and move on, and you'll continue to go round and round and round in this area until you manage to meet the conditions. So we'll start off with a bit of randomness, which is often a feature of games. So to do that, we need to import the random library. We're then going to use a dice, and we're going to keep using the dice and throwing the dice until we get a 6. So while the dice is less than 6, we roll the dice again, and we say what we've just rolled. And you can see some output here, a 1, a 5, a 2, and so on. It keeps rolling until it gets a 6. So I'm going to have a look at this in our Raspberry Pi code editor. And you can see that what we have here is the code we've just talked about. And the instructions are saying run the supplied code several times, and check it only completes when a 6 is rolled. So if I run this, I got 5511 and it stopped at 6. It didn't stop at 6, it moved on to the next section of code, which is about thinking of a gem. Let me stop and run it again. And it rolled a 6 on the first go that time, at which point it moved on. So the randomness, import random, and then using random.randint is letting us roll between 1 and 6 on our dice, and only when the dice is failing this condition, so while the dice is less than 6, it keeps going. When it's no longer less than 6, when it rolls a 6, it moves on to the next code. One more time, 4, 1, 3, and moves on when we roll a 6. Okay, so next up, I'm thinking of a gem from, and the instructions say, add code at lines 10 and 11 to print all the available gemstones in the list. So you can see here we've got a list of gems, rubies, emeralds, diamonds, and so on. It says I'm thinking of a gem. And now we're going to use a loop to show all the gems. Now you may remember that to work through a list, we can use a for loop. So I'm going to say for gem in gems. So the list is called gems. Let's maybe make it a bit less confusing. So let's say for stone in gems. Because I've got a for loop, I do a colon to set up the start of the block. And when I press enter, it automatically indents. And I want to print each of the gems here. So I'm going to say print. Each one of them is being called a stone as I use it. So print stone. And that's it. That should print them all out. So let's stop and run that. I rolled a 1 and a 6. I'm thinking of a gem from ruby. And then on the next line, emerald, diamond, sapphire. So it's not really looking the way I'd like it to. And what I'd like to do here is to go into the end here and say print the stone, but then put the end equals a comma and a space. So if we stop and run that, so now you'll notice that I'm thinking of a gem from, and it's giving me a comma separated list of options. And then it says guess the gem type. Okay, so add code at lines 15 to 17 to keep getting guesses if the last guess is wrong, and count the number of guesses made. So if I guess the gem type here, and I say ruby, because that's easy to type, and I guessed correctly after one guess. So that was a bit fortunate. Let me try running again. And I'm going to try ruby again. And I guessed correctly after one guess. Oh, I must be really good at this game. Well, actually, I'm not checking whether I got the right guess at the moment. So I need to add the code that does that. It's always just printing you guessed correctly after one guess. So what I'm going to do, and if I go back to my instructions here, so there was the dice roll. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, while the guess is not equal to a randomly chosen gemstone, I'm going to add 1 to the count of failed attempts, and I'm going to ask them to try again. So, gemstone is a random choice here. Guess equals input, and I'm going to say, while guess is not equal, so notice not equal is an exclamation mark and an equal sign. So while guess is not equal to gemstone, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to say you've had an extra guess. So count equals count plus 1. And then I'm going to ask you to guess again. So I can take that there and paste it in there. But it might be nice to have a slightly different question. So instead of just guess the gem type, I'm going to say guess again. And I probably don't need the double /n that's making this big gap here. So I'm just going to put guess again like that. So now I run it. Oh, there was a lot of random rolls before I got a 6 there. Guess the gem type. I'm going to type ruby. Nope, ruby was wrong. Okay, I'm going to type emerald. Nope. I'm going to go for diamond. Nope, I'm working my way through it. Sapphire. Got to spell it right with a double P. And amethyst. And I guessed it after 5 guesses. So that was really unfortunate there. If I run one more time, I'm going to try ruby again. And I get it after 1 guess, so that was fortunate. Okay, next up, remove the triple quotes on lines 10 and 22. So if we scroll down, you'll see here that this is all in red because it's been commented out with these triple quotes. And if I remove that and remove that, then this code becomes available. What I am going to do is I'm going to maybe just comment out this block so I don't have to keep guessing when I'm trying things. So I'm going to put a triple quote there to start with, and then a triple quote there to end. And now when I run this, it says guess the gem type, but I'm going to say no, and then it's going straight on to my next section. Okay, hit points. How much health do I have? I'm going to start off with 20 hit points. And it says the goblins killed me. And my health is equal to 20. Which doesn't seem like much of a death if I still got 20 hit points. So let's go and see what we should be doing then. So what we want to do is, we find out how many hit points you've got, and then while your hit points is bigger than 0, so you're still alive because you've still got some hit points left, we're going to let a goblin do some damage to you. Now it says here it's a 1d6 plus 1. That means you roll a dice and you add 1 to it. And if you roll a dice and add 1 to it, that gives you a number in the range of 2 to 7. Okay, so the plus 1, instead of being 1 to 6, makes it 2 to 7. So we're going to use random.randint, 2 to 7 is the damage. And we're going to keep doing damage until you're dead. So, back here. Add codes to let the goblin attack you until it kills the player. So I'm going to say, while hit points is greater than 0, and I press enter, and notice it's indented because this is part of what gets repeated. Use random.randint to make dice rolls. Okay, so I'm going to say damage equals random.randint. Now it's randint, int for integer, that we used previously to convert strings into numbers. And then randint takes a lower and upper value, so 2, 7. So while I've got some hit points, the goblin's going to roll some damage. Then I'm going to take those hit points. So hit points equals hit points minus damage. And I need to say something about it. So I'm going to print the goblin bashes you for damage hits. Now, at the end of it, when you finally run out of hit points, you're then going to be dead, so we're then going to say that you've been killed. So let's run this and see what happens. We've still got our random rolls here. The gem bit we've commented out, but we still have to answer the first question. So the gem type is stone. How much health do I have? I'm going to start with 15 points of health. And the goblin bashed me for 7. And then another 7, that's 14. So I've only got 1 left. There's another 3 hits. So I'm killed because I'm down to -2 hits. So you can see that we've used our gatekeepers. We didn't let you out of the loop until you rolled a 6. We didn't let you out of the loop until you guessed the correct gemstone. And I'm just going to uncomment them again so that that code is working. And we didn't let you out of the loop until the goblin had taken away all your hit points. So we're using a gatekeeper in each while loop that keeps you inside the loop until you meet the conditions to leave the loop and get on with the rest of the code.